they are alphabetically arranged. And author date system, the reference list should be in alphabetical order. That is as simple as that. If it is an author date system, that means to say that there are other systems also. So they are called numbered systems. So we are going to cover that also in a little while now, from now. And here you can just observe that there is A here, A here, and in other places A is not there. A, it is there because if the same author in the same year publishes 2 different or 3 different works, then ABC has to be given. These are the little things that we need to know. That's what I've been saying. Now, we have already discussed about the direct quotations. Direct quotations means you are copying. You are allowed to copy anyway. In a research articles, you are allowed to copy, unlike in examinations. So you can copy a part of the sentence or a full sentence. Only thing is you have to give it in under quotations and followed by author date reference. If you give that way, it is the proper way of giving the citations or reference. Okay, so if you take verbatim a sentence or two from other source, what you have to do? You have to put them in bracket, not bracket, inverted commas. So that is called direct quotations. And indirect quotation means you can take, say for example, there is a sentence like Rama killed Ravana. Is the sentence. You take it from some other source as it is, then you have to put a quotation. No, I don't want to use the same words. I will change. Ravana was killed by Rama. Then you don't have to put quotations for that because you have not taken as it is. Verbatim you have not taken, but you have paraphrased it. But the idea is not yours. So still you have to give the reference. You don't have to put them in quotations. You have paraphrased it, but because the idea belongs to somebody else, you have to give the reference. And one of my student was asking, sir, the example is so exciting that there are only 2 ways of saying things. Either you have to say Rama killed Ravana or Ravana was killed by Rama. There's no third way of. So somebody would have already used it. So even if I want to be creative, I cannot. So how to paraphrase? All the expressions have been already used by somebody else. So I said, no, it is possible. You can say Rama, the husband of Sita, killed Ravana. So you can always make the value addition to it. Or the most modern way of saying is Rama, whose name is part of our chief minister's name, Siddharama, killed Ravana. Very creative, and nobody would have used it. So it is your sentence, but you have to give the reference because Rama killed Ravana is not yours. You did not go and visit. So it has to come from Ramayana, and so you have to give the reference to Ramayana, something like that. Okay, and quoting authors in action. That's what we just see. And you can see here the author's name is part of the English sentence, and in the second one, author's name It is an indirect reference. So the author name is not a part of sentence. So that has been shown already. And multiple words can also be given. It is not that only one reference at a time. Multiple words, any number of words you can cite. And direct quote, you can see the direct quote, quotations you can see here. And quotation, and also the direct quote author's name in parenthesis. This is how we have to give. And why I am showing all these things is this is the way in which you have to give the reference. It is, I know it is very simple, but these are the mistakes that has been done, and the PhD has come out of that. And the amount of errors that made by LIS, Library and Information Science researchers, is 60%. What about others? If I conduct the research, even in medical sciences, I have conducted a few studies. The amount of errors will be 60 to 70%. It could be easily minimized, less than 5%, which I will show you. Short quotation and long quotation. Short quotation means it differs. It will be brief. Long means very long, lengthier quotation. So it depends upon the style that you are using. Whether you are using a APA, MLA, Chicago, Harvard, Vancouver. I hope you know about it. APA is American Psychological Association Manuals, Style Manual. This book is completely about how to give the reference. This is APA 7th edition, the latest one. So whatever reference, the tables, the figures that you give in your articles or theses, etc., you follow this one. So as a researcher, you need to have at least one copy of this book, digital or physical. And I consult this very often, even to see how the numbers inside the tables have to be formatted. So to that extent, this APA gives the details, and this particular thesis used it completely, and that is why it looks a bit better than any other thesis. Format-wise, I'm saying, format-wise. Because it follows the international standard APA. And what is a long short quotation for APA? If you are following APA, then any sentence less than 40 words is a APA. You have to. It is called short quotation, and long quotation is the way in which you prepare, give reference for short quotation is different, and the way in which you give reference for the long quotation is different. I will show you. You can see here, this is a short quotation, paraphrase quotation, and here it is a direct quotation. It is a short quotation because less than 40 words. If it is a long quotation, it has to be given like this. It should be an indented paragraph. It should be given as a separate paragraph because it is more than 40 words in APA. And one more thing that you need to know is, see the full stop, a period. The period for a short quotation comes after the citation. The period for long quotation will come before the citation. These are the small little things that you should know. So, as I told you, there are three ways of giving the reference. One is name date, consecutive numbering, and recurrent numbering. I will explain this instead of theoretical explanation. Give the demonstration of that. Let us just forget about these things. Can you see the difference here to what we had already seen in the author date system? In the author date system, author and year were there. Here, only numbers are there. 1, 2, 3, etc. And the numbers are consecutive numbers. Consecutive number means no number gets repeated more than once. And in such cases, the reference list looks like this. Here what you have to observe is the reference list is numbered. If you are using the numbering system, the references are numbered, not the author and date are not given here, and the list of references will be numbered. The first referred reference will come first here. In the other case, it may not be. Okay, and here you can see this is, I think, I'm sorry. Here, you are seeing a new word like hybrid and opposite. What does this mean? It means that the reference number, which is the reference number 2 and 3, are one and the same. Reference number to this idea and this idea are taken from the same source. And that will be shown as, even though it is taken from the same source, here you can see IBIT. IBIT means the reference details are same as the one which is immediately above it. IBIT means same reference immediately above it. And here you can see opposite. It means it is not immediately above it. Already somewhere in the list it is there, and it is referring to that. So Zia and opposite page number 4 means this idea was taken from the page number 4. So it is giving a link to 2. So if it is continuous, IBIT. If it is not continuous, opposite. This is the way. Now you may be wondering, we use APA. Why should we learn others? That may be the question. But you cannot say that, because sometimes the journals you send your articles may require you to format the references according to numbering system. Many of the medical articles in the field of medical sciences, engineering, they use numbering systems. So now, just for your so when I'm supposed to stop, at what time? 3 o'clock, is it? Okay, rest assured I will stop at 3 o'clock. Now, These are the journals which use consecutive numbering system. If you are a student from science faculty, you cannot say, I will never try to publish in Nature. So Nature is such a prestigious journals. It is equal to having 5 PhDs, one article. So, if you want to publish it in Nature journals or the Lancet journals, you should know consecutive referencing system because they follow that. And similarly, recurrent numbering system means the same references, when it is repeatedly used, will carry the same number. Unlike the previous one, where the numbers will continuously go in spite of repeating the same reference. Here it is not so. So the reference will be something like this. You can see there is no offset, no, there is no IBID, etc. And the references will be short and it will be neat here. And now these are the journals you can see here: Journal of Biological Chemistry, Physical Review of Letters, Journal of Library Administration, etc. They use the recurrent numbering system. So, as a researcher, we should know all the three kinds of referencing: author date, recurrent numbering, and consecutive numbering systems. Now, a question comes. In one of the workshops, I was asked, should we call a list of references as references or bibliography? Bibliography, how many of bibliography is the proper word? And okay, some of you. Bibliography, no opinion. So you have come for the lecture, you give opinion. Why should we give? Okay, right, fine. Actually, there is a slight difference between reference and bibliography. Reference means whatever has been cited inside the text, whatever has been cited inside the text of the article, only those have been listed in the list. Only those. If you add additional references also to those which have been consulted, that have been cited inside, then it is called bibliography. Or bibliography means cited plus consulted. References means only cited. Only cited list will be references. What cited will be references. And if you include for additional reading, etc., other references which have not been cited here, then it is bibliography. Normally, a thesis will have a bibliography because they would errors like this. So we are very rigorously, that is the reason why I have made it a point to go anywhere and everywhere to talk about referencing, even though it is very boring, like the one you are facing. You see the mistakes. And don't be surprised if your thesis comes back saying that there are a lot of reference inaccuracies. Okay. So website referencing people do not know at all. 93% of the time they have given a reference to a website in a wrong way. For example, I have searched for the definition of reference in Wikipedia. So if I give the reference as www.wikipedia.org, it is a wrong referencing. You have to give it to the proper specific page. It is something like, where do I get a pen in the market? If I give the answer like a market, everybody knows. So when the point is where exactly, in which place we will get it. So unless you tell the place properly in the reference, your reference is treated as a wrong reference. And this is errors, number of errors in authors, titles, etc., etc. This is the latest figures that I have borrowed from my students' research work. And as I told you, medical sciences, half the references are wrong. In international journals, I'm saying. And psychology, 55%. And the global trend is 30 to 50%. And nowadays, publishers are very particular about reference accuracy. So, you like it or not, you have to learn it. That is the situation. Errors in psychology. In 2014 or so, I conducted a study. It has not improved much. The errors persist. Now, we will skip this one. Okay. This also. Can you identify the mistake here? Like the first one, what is the mistake? Any one mistake in the first one? First one, let us take the first one.
Half of it is not italicized. Half of it is not italicized.
Yes, that is one thing. The subtitle is not properly italicized. Okay, and the second one is there is no full stop here. New Delhi, New York. Capitalization issue. And here, can you find out?
After 2019, there is no full stop.
Yes. There's one.
And there is
After R, there is comma. Kumar R.
No, that has to be there. Anyway, by and large, this one is properly formatted one. No major mistakes, except as I said, there is no full stop after 2018. And something like this. difficulties in referencing? Too many referencing styles. Can you guess how many referencing styles might be there? Just throw out some number. 100. What about you people?
300.
Okay, 300. You are better than they were. Okay. Now, why I asked this question? I told you don't get daunted by my childish questions. Actually, you may not believe. You may not believe. Sir, can you tell me? You are talking happily. So you can tell me. Or you can come here and talk. That's the better option. So, any number you have not heard even the question also, let alone answering it. There are 10,800 reference styles. So it is physically impossible or humanly impossible for anyone to learn all of them. And there is no need also. There is no need also. Why should we waste our time for very boring and not creative activity and very mundane and labor intensive? So the point is you use technology for that. So if you use technology properly, that has been used by my student, 95% of the errors can be reduced, can be eliminated, not reduced. Only here and there, some things which even the technology cannot handle, such errors will be there. At least 95% it becomes error free. I can assure you. And the technology options, okay, this is the opinion of a survey. On all honesty, I dislike referencing. It is so for too troublesome for simply putting a point forward. Okay, fine. We also feel the same thing. These are all many options available for you. Reference management software. So you can use any one of them. Any one of them. Many are open source, freely available. And today I'm going to demonstrate within next 15 minutes one software and by which you can create the references accurately. It can be learned in 15 minutes. Okay. So thanks as far as PPT is concerned. So we will log into. Any questions? How many of you have published articles? Yeah. So, in which journal?
In the International Journal of Indian Psychology.
Indian Psychology. Okay. So, did you use any referencing tool? Which one? Mendeley. Okay. So, today I'm going to demonstrate to you Zotero, the open source software, and we will create the bibliography or reference list and in text and end text using reference. And also, if time permits, we will also see how to integrate AI with the Zotero. You can integrate AI tools with the Zotero. You can interact with AI LLMs from within Zotero and things like that. lot of things can be done. Okay. Take it from there. Just let us see. Thank you. So what I opened just now is a desktop application of Zotero. Zotero, you go to zotero.org and just install it. It is child's play. So I don't have to really tell about how to install it. And only thing is that what we should know. This is MS Word, wherein we are going to write an article and we give the in-text reference and also we create the in-text reference. Okay, and we write 2-page article within 2 seconds. It has no meaning. Don't search for the meaning. It is a dummy text. So consider that this is a research article for our purpose, for our discussion. And now our point is how to give the in-text reference and how to prepare the reference list. Now, what we will do is we will capture the references from the internet. So what we do is we will go for we'll go to scholar.google.com. This is where normally we search for our references. Actually, there are other citation databases such as Web of Science. Have you heard of it? Web of Science. Scopus, have you heard of it?
Yes.
Scopus and things like that. So you can use any database for that matter. But Scholar being the easier option, I'm going for the Scholar one. And now I want to create. I will first create one folder. Can you see the folder here? No. Here is the folder option. Anyway, I will just take the existing folder itself, JSS I think I would have given one lecture at cases and prepared. The problem with old people is they forget this technology very fast. So I only prepared it. I just I'm not able to find where the folder, how to create the folder here. Okay, fine, doesn't matter. So we'll import a few things to this. I'm going back to Google Scholar, and one of you can give me keywords for searching. Sir, can you give me some keyword?
Sustainable development goals.
Huh?
SDG.
So these are the articles on SDG. Now, for my research article, I want to use this particular reference. I want to include in my article. So what I will do is I will click on that and notice the change here. Change here once I click. Okay. So it has converted into an article icon. Article icon. So I will click for the article icon and it got saved already into my Zotero. You can see here. It got saved. So I am capturing the bibliographical data right from the author's mouth. That means right from the authentic source. So there is no way in which I make mistake in author, I make mistake in title, I make mistake in publisher. So if everybody would have done it, the student would not have conducted this study at all. So everything is correct now. What I and similarly I will do one or two other searches. So you can see the folder icon here. If you click on the folder icon, it will list all the items. It's refusing to work now. It should. Select all. Select all means it will select unnecessarily many things. Okay, doesn't matter. When you go back home and do it, it will work. It is not working here. So technology is sometimes like that. Oh, it's got hung. What's happened? Okay, I left it there. And I will add one more thing. It is a book. It is a book. So I clicked on that. And you see the difference in the icon. Earlier it was like an article, now it is like a book, a blue colored one. So click on that. It's working. Oh, it has. It has. Now I have downloaded one book, one article. My task now is to create a in-text reference. In-text reference. So now I want to add the in-text reference somewhere here. Let us assume. Somewhere here I am adding. And after installing your Zotero, a new tab item will come here as Zotero. So earlier it would not have been there, and now that I have installed Zotero, it has come. So I will just press that Zotero icon and add. Now it is asking for the reference type that I need to follow. So you can choose any reference style of your choice and change it later. So you don't have to do anything. You have to just change, come and change here. Everything will get changed automatically. So let us go for the APA 7th edition. And this has to be done only once for an article. And it is asking for which reference. So I'm going to take the Sustainable Development Goals. Okay. Does it come? You can see here. Let's come here. And one more I'll add. This one I believe. Okay, I kept both of them at the same place. It doesn't matter. So you can place it anywhere. And now I create references. Add bibliography. The bibliography has come and absolutely error-free bibliography. You can add, you can delete, you can modify this. So Zotero, EndNote, or Crossref, many reference management systems are there. You can make use of them to give the in-text and in-text references so that you can avoid plagiarism. You can avoid errors in the bibliography or references. So this is as simple as this. And if you want to change from author date system to numeric system, Vancouver or IEEE, I think it is a number date system. Yes, it has come. So you can change to any reference management systems. And one more thing that you need to know is if the style that you want, citation style that you want is not listed here, only some 15 to 20 have been listed here, you can see here. If it is not listed and your journal wants its own reference style to be followed, then what you need to do is you have to add that reference style to this particular list. So how can I do that? I will go for Zotero repository. As I told you, there are 10,800 reference styles available. And yours is economics field, right? So there are economics, where is it? Where?
Humanities.
It it is under humanities. A lot of journals, their specific proprietary styles have been listed here. Or you can just search, and just search here. If your journal has specific citation, it would have been listed here already. So just search here, click it, it will come and sit in your Zotero list and start using it. It is as simple as this. And now it is 3 o'clock. We'll stop here. And next session, 5 minutes, we will continue this and then go for the next session. Okay? I promise that we'll stop at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 o'clock. Yes, ma'am.
There may be some questions, but they are okay. We'll continue. We'll come back to you. I never thought that my success rate will be at least 50%. Now, let me very quickly, I can't go extensively because I have got another topic to deal with. Very quickly, talk about AI integration. So you know that nowadays is an era of AI. So we deal everything through AI. Here also, what you should Zotero can be integrated with AI apps. One of the what do you call plugin that I have used for Zotero is Beaver, Beaver, Beaver. So through Beaver, you can use Zotero as an reading assistant. Reading assistant, you can interact with it. I will show you how to do it. And what you can do is use Zotero as a personal database of research. So store all your references in Zotero and interact with AI, store notes, tags, and other things inside the AI. So you can write a beautiful review based on whatever you have collected. There's a magic wand here, which when pressed, it is not automatic. We have to install Beaver into Zotero. Quite easy again. And after that, you will see this one. And if you just click on that, you will get a prompt box. So here you can ask a question related to this particular article. This article was downloaded from Google. It was open source article, so it was downloaded from Google and stored in Zotero. And I can ask, say for example, what is broadcast law? Just like you interact with LLMs, Chat GPT or Gemini, and so on and so forth. And it gives you, it is thinking. Actually, what has happened is I have connected my Zotero to OpenAI, that is ChatGPT. ChatGPT. It is working via ChatGPT. Okay, you can see the formula. F of R is equal to C by R to the power of J to the power of alpha, whatever. That is broadcast law. So like this, and also you can create. You can ask the Beaver to summarize, and that summary can be stored as notes inside Zotero. You can generate keywords for your articles, and also this is one way of that means Beaver is working from within Zotero. This is one way of interacting with AI tools. Another way is you can go to consensus. Have anybody used consensus? For literature writing review, this is one of the modern AI tool. Only limitation of this tool is that it fetches only the open access tools, openly available. So commercial databases, it doesn't have any access. So there's one limitation of this. What probably you can do is you can import the articles from commercial databases from elsewhere, Springer, etc., into your Zotero. in consensus, and then you can interact with that, and you can push back the references back into Zotero and things like that. A lot of things can be done. So what I will do is sustainable, and consensus is basically for question and answer type of things. But let me use only the keyword sustainable development goals. Is an AI. These are all the articles, open articles available on SDG. And what you can do is, for example, if you feel that this particular article is very good, very relevant to you, you can click that article and store it in Zotero, just like we did for Google Scholar. And also, it gives there's what is called consensus meter. Please use that one. HGG indicator framework only partially capture interconnected process. How many articles say yes, how many possibly, how many no, these kinds of opinions it gives. So this may be very quite useful for writing articles many a times. So what you can do, you can see here, I have already downloaded Zotero inside consensus, and I can interact with that. And again, whatever I do here can be imported back to Zotero and things like that. So you can use AI along with Zotero. You can also use another one called Elicit. Elicit is another AI which is quite useful for writing the research review, and learning these things is a session by itself. So better, I mean, they are not that difficult to learn. Try it out. Elicit, Research Rabbit, and consensus and things like that. So there are plenty, in fact. So with this, we will close our discussion on referencing, and happy referencing. I'll still stay. We now talk about research publications, metrics, the measurement of research, ethics, the ethical aspects in research. So there are various ways of measuring the research. You may be knowing, you may have heard about H index. Students, have you heard about it? Do you know what is H index?
Yes.
Yes, can you define it? Can you tell me at least, not definition? Can you tell me what is H index?
Number of citations.
The author has many citations.
It's always difficult to define it, but easy to understand it.
Okay.
So it is like explaining how to swim. So it is difficult. Anyway, people are mad about H index. Normally they get themselves introduced through H index. My H index is 37. My H index is 47. Their visiting card also have H index. So because people are mad about it, H index has its own limitations actually. Because I call H index as Hooch index. But still it is a measure of impact of author. So there is metrics. So we are going to learn a few metrics, the idea of metrics and things like that. We will make it as light as possible, and I will close by 4:15. So you can send me an alert signal at 4:15. No issues. If you don't have to tell me stop, it looks quite awkward. You can say, then I will understand. Yes. So till 4:10, I will not look at you. So there are 4 words here: research, publications, metrics, and ethics. You can combine them in any order you want, and all of them are relevant in fact. You can see that research and publications are related. They- Unless you publish your research, there is no use. Research, many people, they do research, they are very poor in publishing them, but they receive very less recognition. Visibility, not only for their own good, but for the goodness of the society also, the research has to be published, because the society in at large and the government in particular would have invested a lot of things, a lot of money on one's research. If I'm doing research in my department, it pays salary to me, it gives fellowship to the students, etc. But if I don't publish my research, then it is waste of money for everyone. It is a public money which we are wasting. So we have to publish, and some research are good, some research are average, some research are bad. It's okay, but research have to be measured. So there are various ways of measuring the research. Maybe impact factor, H index, G index, I10 index are some of them. So we need to measure the research, and the way of, how the research is measured. That's what we are going to learn today. And I don't have to tell you about this. It need not be emphasized because we know it. We have to conduct ethical research. It has to follow the ethical parameters. And Publications are also measured using bibliometric techniques, and publications also have ethics. So we will learn what are the ethical aspects that we need to understand, follow while publishing an article. I will concentrate only those, only journal articles in this session, because there are certain aspects related to theses, there are certain other aspects for conference proceedings and books, etc. But I am concentrating only on ethical aspect related to journal publications. Philosopher, I have become a philosopher now. What is ethics? It accepted normal moral principles. So if you follow accepted moral principle, you will be normal. You will be cool. And some of the uh, ethics expected in society also apply for research publications, like honesty, respecting others, be fairness, treating everybody equal, responsible, and integrity. We do expect these things in life, and research publications are not away from these. We have to have these things in research publication also. How, we will see. Of late, people are giving a lot of importance for ethics in publication. They have come out with guidelines for publications, ethical publications, and it is called FAIR. FAIR is an acronym, and this FAIR uh, is supported by many of the international organizations. Many of the international journals, they follow these guidelines nowadays. You have to know about these guidelines if you want to publish in international journals. Particularly the European Commissions and CODATA, the Committee on Data of International Science Council and Research Data Alliance, etc., etc. As I told you, FAIR is a acronym standing for, the first letter F stands for findability. You have to make your article, research publication findable. What are the ways of doing so? You have to assign a DOI. You as a researcher, you cannot. So what you can do is you can publish your article in a journal which assigns DOI. A journal which doesn't assign DOI, don't publish there. So publish your articles where DOI is assigned. DOI stands for document object digital object identifier. Digital object identifier. And use relevant keywords. We are going to talk about how to construct keywords and things like that. And also the concept of preprint archives are growing. So you can deposit your article in preprint before it get published. You can archive it. It is publicly available to everybody. Not the final version. The manual, the manuscript version will be available there. But by and large, the idea of research is communicated, and it gets indexed in many of the databases as well. And list your research in Google, ORCID, Research Gate, etc., etc. And the second one is accessibility. FAIR, F-A-I-R. The second letter stands for accessibility. Make your work available to the community, and the open access movement is going on. It is becoming popular day by day. So commercial publishers are really finding it difficult. Open access movement is picking up like anything, and deposit your uh, article in institutional repositories. Mysore University has one institutional repository, and share your findings in conference proceedings and things like that, so that you don't have to wait for long to get your ideas disseminated. So you can very easily promote your ideas in conferences very fast, and you can share your data in Figshare, Zenodo, and Dryad, etc., to make data sets available for other researchers. So they will acknowledge, and you will get better citation. Your visibility will improve. And the third one is interoperability. FAIR stands for interoperability. So compatibility with the other systems. So use good citation format, and also export it using the BibTeX is a exchange format, in fact, which we did not tell about in the first session, and RIS, etc. And also have a quality data, metadata, using Dublin Core, ORCID, and Crossref for metadata and things like that. And reusability. This is one of the concept actually becoming popular. Research data management, RDM, is picking up, and I share not only my article but also the data to others. So data will also be shared. So so that the same data can be used by others for and have different interpretation on the data, and different experiments can be based on the data. They don't have to start collecting the data. They can build upon their research based on the data that you have already collected. That kind of reusability phenomena is really becoming popular among scientists. Now, very quickly, we will go through the anatomy of a journal article. An article contains all these sections. The title and the author, abstract, introduction. One thing is missing here, it is keyword. Keywords are also part of article which is missing. Maybe next time I will add it. Introduction, method, results, discussion, tables and figures, reference list. All these things, there are certain standards, certain ways of doing things in all these things. So we will try to understand that. A typical journal article looks like this. Keyword is absent anyway here. So you can see the authors. You can see abstract. Abstract is nothing but the summary of the article, the introduction, the methodology, the references, the conclusions, and the inferences, etc., etc. It looks something like this. So now we will take up each one of them and try to see what are the ethical aspects involved in each of these elements in a journal article. These are some of the possible journal articles. The death of a family, why traditional family. Some of them are good titles, and some of them are not so good titles. Say, for example, the third one is too long. Requires months to understand. And this is too general. It doesn't convey anything. So the title should not be like this. That is what we understand by this, and we are going to discuss that. And the first one is misleading and overly attractive. And the second one is sensationalized. words are there and things like that. And these are not that good articles. I mean, journal titles, article titles. Myths about article title. Article titles, people think that longer the article, better it will be. It is a myth. Another myth is flashy and or sensational titles attract more readers. Initially, yes, but study has been made to see whether the flashy or the attractive titles get more citation, not necessarily. Initial citations may be more, but later it drops down. So title serves, attractive title serves very little purpose and it spoils the game in a way. So don't be too, try to use attractive titles, words in your titles. It's moving? No. Title should include every details about the study. Why should it be? It's not an abstract. It's a title. It should be concise. It should be precise. It should be to the point. It should convey the idea as quick as possible. So it has to be done like this. And a vague title is better because it can attract broader audience. I mean, these are the myths in the author's mind. So they are all myths. They are not the real issues. It should not reflect actually author's personal opinion. And using symbols and special characters like smileys are not good because it hampers indexing of the titles. Smileys are not retrievable. You cannot search for it. You cannot retrieve it. So don't use symbols like this in titles. In titles, you can reuse the same titles for multiple articles. No, not at all. You should not do it. And provocative titles always increase engagement. No, not necessarily. So, what are the ethical aspects? Clarity of the title, accuracy of the title, conciseness, honesty, and objectivity, searchability. These are the parameters that you need to look into while constructing the titles. This you can also apply for framing the PhD titles. Coming out with a good PhD title is always difficult. So these are the guidelines that you need to have. So normally PhD titles could be little longer than the journal article title, but at the same time it should not be too long. Now, authorship related ethics. These organizations have given guidelines about who can be the author, who can be the author, who should be the author. Now, one question at the end of this session we are going to answer, whether ChatGPT can be an author. So we will answer that question. In the meantime, you think about it. Don't ask ChatGPT. And for being an author, if you want to be an author, you have to be a substantial contributor, or authorship agreement should be there, transparency in contribution should be there, proper acknowledgement and general responsibility. And these are the key key recommendation about the authorship ethics. And APA also gives, I showed you, no? APA also gives the guidelines for authorship, and these are some of them. Elsewhere, a popular publisher gives the guidelines for the authorship. Elsewhere has come out with a role identifier for each author. It is becoming very popular nowadays. So credit is the name given for that, and it has identified 16 contributory roles. Not 16, 14 contributory roles. Actually, earlier it was 16. Recently, they have reduced it to 14 contributory roles. And I don't have time to show this website. Possibly I can show you because it's not there in the. These are the roles identified by the credit system. And if you involve yourself in one of these roles, then you can claim the authorship. Otherwise, not. Okay. Now, always there is a fight between who should be the first author, who should be the second author, who should be the third author. As long as you work under PhD guide is invariably the first author. Not necessarily, should not be. Should not be. Because the main contributors are the researchers. And the PhD guide is only supporting role he will be doing, he or she will be doing. So it has to be the second role. And first author, you can have some guidelines like this. The person who conceptualized the idea, who does the major writing and data analysis, should be the first author. This is the objective way of deciding about the place in the author line, whether you should be the second author, the third author, the fourth author, etc. And the last author. Actually, my guide, when I wrote an article, he told don't put his name in my article. At that time, there was no pressure for publish or perish. Now there is a pressure that the faculty members have to publish. So at least we get the last author. We'll be happy. So, but we should not claim the first authorship unless we contribute significantly for the conceptualization and writing. Many times that is the argument put forth by the supervisors, saying that the idea is mine and I have given the guidelines, etc. So I will claim the, but ethically it is not correct. In many of the articles, the role is declared just like this, and nowadays this is the practice. The journal publishers will ask you to reveal the role of each author, and it should be done something like this. Kavita, they analyze the interview transcript and survey data. And Dr. Nandini Das secured the grant funding and research project, etc. So like this, the role of the author should be revealed. This is what honesty is. The fair principle honesty comes here. And an author statement may look like this. You have to declare the author IDs, Orchid, Scopus author ID, Mendele, etc., etc., and affiliations, etc. And make sure that you always give these author IDs because there may be another Anjali Verma. This problem of homonym may be there. So there may be 3, 4 Anjali Vermas. So you write an article, the other person will get the benefit. That should not be there. So if that should be avoided, then give the some one of the IDs at least, if not all. Orchid is the most popular one, and Scopus author ID, and also people don't use Google Scholar ID much. And corresponding author, if you want to give, you can give it something like this. This is the way in which the author information has to be given in an article. That is what the meaning of this particular slide is. There are many author IDs. So better to have author IDs. And registering for author IDs is free of cost. And you can have the author IDs just like that. And you are not supposed to give use doctor, professor, Sri, etc. in author. So those kinds of titles should be avoided. And I show you. You can see here, KG Sudhir. He is PhD holder. I know him, but there is no doctor here. So those kinds of in academic writings, the authorship you don't have to give the titles. In journal articles also, many of the journals, predatory journals, you can see the professor will be there, MA, MBA, all the from nursery to PhD, they would have listed the qualifications. It is unprofessional, completely unprofessional. That itself shows that the quality of the article is not good. So don't do that. And but when you want to give the acknowledgement, then courtesy demands that you address the other person in acknowledgement section, not in the author section. And can LLMs be an author? They write. So can we use them as the author? No, you cannot. But I'm not saying that you should not use it. You cannot have ChatGPT as an author, and the reasons are given here. You can see this. It's working. Okay, but one thing that we have to do is you have to acknowledge the use of LLMs, and journal articles do accept it. Please understand that the people think that if I say that I have used ChatGPT, the article may not be published. No, it will be published. But only thing is, you have to be honest and say that either this way or this way. But you cannot have ChatGPT in the author line. That's what I'm telling. And the publisher policies for this clearly shows AI use must be disclosed. They are not saying you should not use it, but must be disclosed. AI generated images are not accepted. Only content for writing and things like that you can use AI. AI tool and version must be mentioned. AI cannot be an author. And like this, I have listed the international publisher. They accept AI. So please go ahead and use AI. But only thing is, declare it. Be honest. That is the thing that it is the takeaway from this particular lecture. And abstract. There are different kinds of abstracts. Descriptive, informative, indicative, structured, and critical. And you can go for anyone. Normally, informative abstract are they get a lot of visibility in terms of indexing and things like that. So better to give informative abstracts. And how the abstract should be done. It should be in passive voice. It should be in passive voice, and tone should be formal and neutral, and it should be concise and things like that. And this is an example for how a well-written abstract in a passive voice. You can see that the passive voice are highlighted for the sake of demonstration. It should be written in passive voice like this, not in active voice. And these sources mention these guidelines as far as writing of abstract is concerned. These are the guidelines. Keywords. Keywords are important for retrievability of the article. So it gets indexed on high priority. So better to give keywords properly, and it summarizes your article. And it should be relevant, specific, consistent, and avoid redundancy, and use synonymous and related term properly. And you can include acronyms and abbreviations in key terms, and research methodology. If it is something new, better to make it as a keyword. And the number of keywords should be limited to 4 to 6, not more than that. And it should be in noun form, plural form, and examples are given here. I mean, these are the issues that you come across when you actually write an article. So, how many keywords I should have? What should be the way in which it has been constructed? So, can I use of, in, etc. in a keyword? Prepositions and articles in the keyword. It should not be, as far as possible, it should be avoided. And all those things. These guidelines helps you to come out with good keywords, avoid redundancy, use of acronyms are allowed. What should be the order of the keywords? Most important to less important. If the keyword is appears in the abstract, then can I use it in the keywords also? As far as possible, avoid it. Anyway, every word from the abstract will get indexed. So if you have a new word for the same thing, then use it in the keyword. For example, artificial intelligence you have used in abstract. You can use AI in keyword. So both get indexed. Misleading keyword should not be there. Keyword stuffing, avoid. Duplication and redundancy should not be there. Irrelevant and unrelated keyword should not be there. And don't plagiarize the keywords also. Failure to include the key concept is a negative characteristic of a keyword, and more use of popular or trending terms, avoid it. And hypothesis and objectives and hypothesis, and I'm not going to deal much about the objectives and hypothesis, except for the fact that you should avoid hawking. Hawking is hypothesizing after result is known. So that should be avoided. Uh, so many people do this, but many people have the impression that hypothesis has to be accepted. Not necessarily. No acceptance of an hypothesis is also a result, is also a finding. So don't worry about the acceptability or otherwise of a hypothesis. Be honest. Be honest in declaring the hypothesis. Literature review. We have already talked about the literature review, the in-text citation and the in-text citation, and example for a review paragraph. And one question that is normally asked is whether what should be the order of the literature review. Should it be chronological? It should not be. It should be thematic, not the chronological order is not the best way of writing the research review, and it not always suits. Thematic order is the order internationally accepted order for research review literature, and this is not the proper way, because what it is doing is it gives this author's name and just narrate the content. It is just an annotated bibliography, not a review. Review means it should have your opinion, your interpretation, and things like that. It is not there. It is not there. We should avoid plagiarism, selective reporting, and misrepresentation of the sources. And there are many other sections of the article also. I'm going to skip. Referencing in journal article, we have already talked about it. How many citations? Typically, research articles can contain 20 to 50, but review articles may go up to 100 citations. Is self-citation acceptable? Sir, your question. So, appropriate use. Self-citation is acceptable when referring to your own previous book directly relevant to the current study, providing necessary context and community elaboration. Excessive self-citation is not acceptable. But in some fields like journalism, literature, etc., self-citation may be a bit more, but not in sciences. Not in sciences. Not that you should not do it at all, but it should not go beyond. Out of 10, there could be one self-citation, not more than that. Right? What's happening? Okay, started working. Citation and references, research metrics. Another 5 minutes we will conclude with the research metrics. There are 3 levels of metrics. Author level metrics measures the impact of the author. The article level metric measures the impact of the article on the domain, and journal level metrics impact of the journals. And H index, you know about it. I-10 index, you know about it. I-10 index. Google Scholar gives I-10 index, in fact. And citation count, alt metrics, downloads, etc. And journal level metrics impact factor. Impact factor is from WOS and all others are from Scopus. So H index measures the productivity of the and say for example my H index is 8. That means 8 of my articles have been published have been cited at least 8 times. That is the meaning of it. So if my article, my H index has to increase by 9, 9 of my articles should get 9, minimum of 9 citations. And I-10 index, this is given by Google Scholar. How many articles got more than 10 citations? That is what I-10 index is. And total citation count, H5 index is for journals. And G index is better than H index, but it did not become popular. G index, it is called G index because Leo Yeghe has found out it. Yeghe's name contains double G. That is why it is called G index. E index, M index, N index, J index, Z index, all indexes are there. So can you quickly tell me what is the H index of the first one? This is the data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 if I go, this becomes the serial number is more than the citations. So my H index is 8. That's how it is calculated. I-10 index. Can you find the I-10 index here? How many articles? Yeah, yes. I have not counted anyway. I will go for that. So even factor. Article level metrics, citation counts. These are all the metrics available in Scopus. Scopus database. They are all based on Scopus. And now we just forget about all these things. Impact factor. Let's talk about impact factor. Impact factor is only for the journals, not for the authors. For authors, it is H index. For journals, it is impact factor. And impact factor is given by Web of Science. Web of Science data, and the corresponding impact from Scopus is site score. Site score is similar to impact factor, it is given. And these are all many of the indices available, how it is calculated, etc. Not altmetrics is one tool where it measures the impact of the social media, the impact of the journals through social media. How many times X has cited your article, or how many times Facebook postings is there on your article, and things like that is measured, and it will be shown as a donut like this. The color indicates, unfortunately, the color is not shown here. It should have been shown, and this is called AA arithmetic attention score, AAC, AAS, arithmetic attention score, and higher the number, better the impact on social media. And this is available on many of the international publishers' websites for each article. For each article, it's an article level. It will take me a moment. You can see here. And similar one is there for another arithmetic score is PHILOMENA'S. It looks something like this, and it's also used in many of the international journals. As a conclusion, I can say that multi-level impact measurements are available, and finally, the metric should be interpreted carefully, should not be taken as the absolute measure of the quality. Sometimes metric studies may mislead, but we have to be carefully analyze the metrics and measure the quality of it. So with this, I conclude. My good friend Prakash has come. So thank you very much.